Hi everyone, it's Brian. This is a brand new song from Ren that he just put out yesterday. The song is called For Joe. It's a it's a tribute to his friend Joe Hughes, who died in 2010 in a drowning incident where he committed suicide. Ren was there 5 minutes after with the rescue team trying to find out where his friend was. Ren has been open about his own struggles with mental illness, and he talks about suicide as well. He's got another song entitled "Suicide," and he mentions in interviews how the word suicide is even sanitized in the YouTube community, social media. They use the words like unalived for fear of being blocked because people won't talk about it. People won't talk about mental illness. But this song is for Joe, so want to hear it today. I'll tell you about some of the struggles of a good friend of mine had um, as well, and he ended his own life too. Let's hear for Joe.
It's hard to take off from the ground when your wings are cut. Your stomach burns when you're drinking from an empty cup. You know the entire ocean came from my tear ducts. I see the world through Fibonacci sequences and double Dutch. I guess there's some that's born lucky, there's some that's not. I tried to cut away my bitterness, hatchet job. I locked my youth inside the trunk, inside the pickup truck, then dumped that whole thing over that same bridge the night you jumped. I think about that sometimes, vividly. What it felt like to look down and see tranquility. One sudden movement in a world of possibility. Only one movement to expose our fragility. I fucking miss you, and I miss myself. I miss thinking we were indestructible as hell. I miss chilling by the pier cave and kicking back with Callum, Hugo, Justin, Sega, Stevie and the fucking lads. I miss missing that. I numb myself to close the gap. I never even call them up. Distance is my plaster cast to tell the truth. The day you jumped, my childhood jumped too. But I still can't find the anger. All I find is missing you, man, I miss you. With all my rhymes, I picture running 5 minutes quicker, I'm right on time. I picture pulling you back over the edge and then we're crying, and holding you, my brother, and telling you that it's fine, not the way that it worked. I was late like a jerk, there's not a day where I can find a way to break from the hurt. Your body missing, so we never got to wave to the hearse. I hope you're listening, I love you, man, I miss you, absurd, fuck.
Now, if you recognize that rap, that's from the song "Suicide." He's going into the sorry, this is it's so moving. It's you can hear at the beginning where his emotions are. He doesn't have the words even. He's just the hurt. And as he said, he arrived 5 minutes late, as I mentioned earlier, and the rap says that too. You know, a friend of mine, um, his wife had an affair, and he was a police officer, and he came home one day, and when he found out about that, it went up to his room and used his own pistol on himself and left his wife with two kids and left two of his brothers. He's a very good friend of mine from high school. And I know another friend, his father took his own life because he stopped taking his medication because he thought, you know what, this works, so I'm not going to take it anymore. If you're on a medication that's been prescribed for you, please keep taking it. The reason you're on it is because it works. Okay, let's carry on.
Another domino, it falls. Across the way another's born. How you're supposed to raise a child and give it courage from a storm. In a world that is confusing, contradictions pave our flaws. Some will say we're only human, others judge us for our flaws. Some get born in sheets of satin, some get by in tattered clothes. Some will die before they live, that's just how the story goes. But for those of us still with us, who reside inside our hearts, tell them proudly how you feel. And for those of us who aren't, freckled angels stand strong, freckled angels live on, freckled angels climb higher, freckled angels still inspire, freckled angels won't forget you, teach me to live my life better. 13 years and still I miss you, now my wings are missing feather. Otherwise I'd come and join you, but for now I'm here on earth, stuck inside this mortal body, but for everything it's worth. Made me braver, made me wiser, made me stronger, made me true, made me face the world with courage, and that's all because of you. Freckled angels laugh the hardest, and their hearts, they are the largest. With their wings, they fly the farthest. So I know you're gonna be okay. Freckled angels live the longest, and their minds, they are the strongest. Oh, their friends, they are the fondest. So I know you're gonna be okay.
See, that happened in December 2010. So all these years later, Ren is still affected by it. And, I was thinking about this as he was speaking there. My friend who took his own life this is a while back now, wow, 15 years ago. Um, his wife cheated on him, even though they had a couple kids together. But, he called me a few weeks before because he had moved away, moved like 3-4 hours away. And he said, "Hey, come on, let's get together. I haven't seen you in a while." And I'm like, "Dude, you're like 4 hours away. How are we going to work that out?" And, part of me goes, what? Maybe this had happened, this affair that she had, and he just needed somebody to talk to about it. And would it have changed anything? I don't know. But if you're going through stuff, if you know somebody that might be going through stuff, I mean, be an ear for somebody. Don't judge them. If you're going through stuff, speak to somebody. Speak to a friend. Speak to a stranger, even. If it's really bad, um, go to the hospital. Call emergency services. I mean, these are things you can even do online these days, anonymous, and people want to help and people care. No one wants to see another person suffer because they've lost someone close to them, like Ren says here. When he talks about freckled angels, I wonder if his friend Joe had freckles, and that kind of puts a positive spin on things. But yeah, it's tough, man. Like I said, this has been a while for me too, and I haven't really talked about it before. Even though one of my other good friends is friends with his his one of his brothers. I met with one of his brothers after the fact, and the brother said, the wife had remarried. I spoke to her as well not long after it happened, and she told me he was medicated, but I don't know if he'd gone off his meds or whatever. But if you're on meds too, like I said before, keep taking your meds. You're on them for a reason. It's not like a cold; you get over it. Don't go off your meds without a psychiatrist or a doctor's intervention. In that, they will wean you off slowly. They'll help you manage your anxiety, depression, suicidal thoughts. But again, Ren is so bold, and you can feel it in his voice. It's visceral. The emotion just takes over, and sometimes he can't even speak. It's just noise and anguish that he feels, and that's all he can get out. But thank you, Ren, for doing this, and thank you for listening today. I'd appreciate it if you subscribe to, and thanks again for watching.